quick announcement, there's a poll running in the community tab, that's it. After the exciting Australian Grand Prix, we go to Brazil, for which 3 teams have brought updates. Mercedes has gave McLaren some updated engine parts that are expected to increase the amount of horsepower the engine produces. Jordan has shaved off some weight of that chassis, and Sauber has strengthened the suspension, which has failed for Frentzen in the Australian Grand Prix. And after you know that, let's go to qualifying. And starting the first qualifying lap, we are going into turn 1. I have to brake early, otherwise the car gets unstable. That will be a big issue in the race. Me and the team, we couldn't figure out what's wrong with it. Maybe that's just the characteristic of the chassis itself. But besides making overtaking into turn 1 very hard for me, it won't seem to cause any issues. Sector 2 is the place where the car feels most comfortable. Just see how much speed can we carry through turn 6 and 7. Now into turn 8. Those slower corners are always tricky, especially on the exit. The car just produces so much torque, it's easy to spin it. Thankfully, turn 10 is the last of those. So after I managed to not spin, we have turn 11, which is flat, and turn 12, in which I never had any problems, maybe besides going wide. And after that, it's just flat to the line, where we set a lap time of 1 minute, 10 seconds and 5 tenths. But I know I can improve by at least half a second. We are running slightly turned down engines because of reliability concerns. We know what happened in qualifying for Australia, and just a little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 1. That's gonna complicate things. Of course, it doesn't mean the lap is over. I also go wide in turn 4, but now we are in slipstream of my teammate. And if I manage to just not completely bottle the second sector, we might regain all of the time in that run to the line. And I even managed to gain time in sector 2. So now we have this beautiful slipstream from my teammate Ricardo Rosset, for whom this is his home race. Now he dips into the pit lane, we are all alone, and it is 110.2. Still not the maximum we can get, but we are slowly getting there. Starting lap 3, I've broke too early. That means we have this weird line on the entry, and that's not the maximum speed you can get off the exit out of that section. As you can see, we are already 1/10 down, and that's compared to the previous lap, in which we had that massive slide going into turn 1. More problems in turn 10, and it's hard to believe that I qualified 7th for the Australian Grand Prix. Even the last proper corner was terrible. Okay, and this is my final chance for improvement. Going into second for turn 1, I managed to hook it quite nicely. Good speed on the exit. With all of that, we gained 2 tenths in sector 1, going slightly on gravel. That won't matter in the long run. I've gained 2 more tenths in sector 2, and now it's just full throttle to the start-finish line, where I set a lap time of 1 minute 9 seconds, 0.9. I've lost some time in the final corner, but I went below 1/10, and that's what matters. After the session has ended, FIA has picked Ferrari of Michael Schumacher, McLaren of Mika Häkkinen, and a footwork of Ricardo Rosset for their post-qualifying inspections. All 3 cars have been deemed legal, so there won't be any changes to the qualifying results.
Hello there. Welcome to Brazil. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Villeneuve first. Hill second. Michael Schumacher third. Jean Alesi fourth. Johnny Herbert 5th, David Coulthard 6th, Mika Häkkinen 7th, 8th, Olivier Panis 9th, Irvine 10th, 11th, Rubens Barrichello 12th. Endured a lackluster qualifying session and faces a tough start in the midst of the chasing pack. He starts 13th, Sarlo 14th, 15th. Couldn't quite match the pace of his teammate. He starts 16th. Frentzen 17th. Diniz 18th. Badoa 19th. 20th. Fisichella 21st. 22nd.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go, go, go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh, and a leisure stalls right in front of us. We are down to 15th position. That complicated our start. Now a Sauber makes a move on us, and we are side by side with a Minardi which just barges its way through us. Dennis is also looking for an opening, but we are not giving it to him. Now this short straight will be a good opportunity for me to just reorganize myself, because we have to do overtaking. And into turn 4 I go on the inside of Pedro Lamy. We are up to 16th, but that's still a far away position from where we started. Now though we are entering sector 2, and I know I'm strong there. I already go on the inside of Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Unfortunately my teammate blocks me, but I go on the inside of him and Katayama. The Japanese driver shows some resistance and holds the position going through turn 9, but no worries, turn 10 is great for overtaking. On the outside of him I go, and he cannot do anything about that. We are up to 14th position. We can easily overtake Frentzen. No idea about the Jordan in front of him though. Now entering the final straight of the circuit, I just have to stay in his slipstream. He's slowly losing the draft from the car in front, so it should be an easy pass going into turn 1. I pull out of his slipstream at the final moment, brake at the 100 meters board, and we are through. We are up to 13th again. I minimize the damages from that start. And now let's see how my pace compares to Barrichello in front. He seems to be losing the cars in front entering the sector 2. Most likely he's on a higher fuel load. Maybe he's doing a one-stop strategy. But even with that, I am struggling to catch up to him. And if I'm seeing correctly, that looks to be a white car right in front of him. So it has to be Tyrrell. And if I am slower than a Tyrrell in this race, that's not looking good really. Now let's see the gap to Barrichello. I am 1.5 seconds behind him on the start-finish straight. That's the gap we'll have to remember. And a lap later, it's basically identical. We aren't gaining, we aren't losing, it's not great, not terrible, but I'm still worried about the fact we are behind that Tyrrell. I feel comfortable through 6 and 7, but that off moment probably means I am too comfortable. And with that, I lost a second to Barrichello. Good news are we are easily extending the gap to Frentzen. So really, we seem to be in no man's land. Let's see how I compare this time on a clean lap. We are still 2.5 seconds behind him. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna overtake him. Now we just have to focus on extending the gap to Frentzen and not making any mistakes. After I crossed the line to start my 10th lap, I didn't hear my race engineer. I think my radio has failed. Going deeper into the race, Katayama overtook Frentzen and now was only 2 seconds behind me. That means those Tyrrells are pretty quick around Interlagos, and in some laps time I'll actually have to look in my mirrors again. Oh, someone's exiting the pit lane. I think that's McLaren of Mika Hakkinen. Let's see, will he come out in front of us? And yes, he comes out right in front of me. Now the problem is he has much more fuel than me. I'm gonna box in 5 laps and I have no idea how long his stint will be. Plus cold tires mean he's slowing me down through sector 2. I hope that freshly upgraded Mercedes engine will show its power on start-finish straight. Otherwise, this will be slightly problematic to me and actually might put me right into the claws of Ukyo Katayama. Thankfully for me, if you look in the mirror, you will see that the Japanese driver has dipped into the pit lane. So our pace might not actually be that bad as I thought it was. And now Mika Salo is in the pit lane too. Lap 22 marked my first sighting of the Brazilian submarine. Thankfully the 40 driver did not interfere with my race too much. And on lap 24 we make our first pit stop. We are once again running a 2-stop strategy. And I have to be aware of those cold tires on the exit. This is a twisty bit of the circuit and yeah, it caught me off guard. Though, to be fair, it was really a blessing in disguise, because this way I let my teammate Ricardo Rosset go past me without any on-track overtaking that would lose us time. He's much lighter right now, he's running a 1-stop. As you can see, he just runs away from me. So it wasn't ideal, but really it was a good thing that it happened. Lap 31, we see a yellow flag on the exit of Senna SS. I think that was a 40. Let's have a look at Giancarlo Fisichella. He exits the Senna SS and his car just gives up. 40 team says it's a suspension failure. Lap 37 and my teammate is into the pits. He was only 4 seconds ahead of me, so I didn't lose much time, even with him being on a lighter fuel load. That once again reaffirms me that, yeah, the pace is there, we are running fine, there's nothing to worry about. Now going into turn 6, I picked this tight, awkward line, and we are off track. Brace for impact, that's gonna be ugly. Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of lost right now. I have to cut this corner. I have no idea how the FIA will look at this. Now let's see how the car feels. The suspension seems to be straight. We actually might have get away with that. Let's see a replay. Yeah, I just go too tight into 6 and 7, and as soon as I go on the gravel, I'm just the passenger and straight into the wall. I was really lucky to not get any damage in that accident. And soon after Damon Hill has appeared in my rear mirrors, I decided to let him go as fast as it's possible, though Damon Hill is just not overtaking me. What is he doing? Come on Damon, come on Damon. Go, no! We lost like 8 seconds because of that. What was he doing? Come on! Maybe he's just too old for Formula 1 at this point. I don't know. Now Jacques Villeneuve is behind me too. Let's see how will he handle lapping me. Much better. Yeah, this is how you do it, Damon. Let's get a replay to maybe understand what was going through his mind. Absolutely nothing. He just stops. I'm giving you all the space in the world and you just do this. We lost so much time because of that. And after 44 laps, gearbox in Pedro Lami's car has gave up. That is the end of his Brazilian Grand Prix. Lap 48, this is my in lap, and going through turn 9 I see yellow flags and I see why on the exit there is a car smoking. No idea who was that, but the replay clearly shows us that was Martin Brundle. His engine has gave up. This is second race in a row where this happened to him. And now it's time for us to enter the pit lane for our final stop of the race. There's also a Ferrari exiting its pit box. I think I learned my lesson during the first pit exit. Let's see. Yeah, I'm much more careful through there, and it results in me not going off track this time. I exit the pit lane right behind Mika Salo. We are 2 seconds away from him, but thankfully I have this Ferrari will clear the way for me. Although first I have to lap the Sauber, otherwise I will miss the opportunity where Ferrari is lapping Salo. So I go on the inside of him as quickly as I can, and that happened to be in turn 10. Now we are 2 seconds behind the Finnish driver, and Ferrari is lapping a Minardi on the start-finish straight. I am not gonna be so lucky. I will have to stay behind Bador going through the Senna SS, and this will cost me so much time. We are actually on our way to lose that perfect window where a Ferrari is lapping Salo, and yeah, it is happening right in front of my eyes and I just cannot do anything about it. Just so irritating. I don't think Salo will actually stop anytime soon. I think Salo has done his last pit stop. We just lost so much time because of that going off track and Damon Hill not lapping us for some reason. But I'm really close behind the tunnel. Going through turn 9, maybe I managed to find a way past him in turn 10. No, I really do not want to finish behind him. I know I'm faster. Yeah, I'm too far away in turn 1. But now we seem to have a good run going into turn 4. I'm in slipstream. Now I just did not gain anything. I know we are running slightly turned down engines, but this is a disappointing performance. I'm in his slipstream. I should be gaining big time and it's not happening. Oh, and I'm really close through 6 and 7. That's a risky spot to overtake someone. And once again, I'm just stuck behind him in turn 9. Too far away to overtake him in turn 10. So he will be ahead of me through 11 and 12. And on the start-finish straight. And I'm probably not gonna catch up as much as I have to on the start-finish straight. And that was indeed the case. Although now he goes wide. This is a perfect run into turn 4. I'm in his slipstream. Please, engine, give me the power I need. No, but that wasn't enough. I go on the inside through 6 and 7. No! Also, he cuts off right in front of me, so if I went for it, or if I go for it next time, I probably will crash out of the race. So we are once again too far away through 10, and the cycle just repeats itself. But no, there are yellow flags. I think that's a Ferrari stopped on the track. Oh, and he crashes right into it and sends the Ferrari right in front of my car. Katayama overtook us, but that was under the yellow flags. He has to give the position back, otherwise he will get a hefty penalty. But Salo is going into the pit lane. I think he didn't box. I think his pace was so good because he was running 5 laps of fuel. We are saved. We are unironically saved. Let's see what happened to Michael Schumacher. Yeah, he just stops. And now Tyrrell crashes into him. This sends me off track. Let's get a onboard from Mika Salo. Yeah, I think he just panicked. He locked up the front wheels and that sent him right into the Ferrari. Oh, and Frentzen behind us crashes into the stricken Ferrari. But he wasn't the only one. That's David Coulthard. Okay, I have no idea what is happening. And that's Rubens Barrichello, who also decides to crash into Michael Schumacher and loses his front wing. His teammate follows him. He also crashes into Michael Schumacher. Okay, now we are on board with Mika Hakkinen. You won't guess what he will do now. Yeah. Mika decided to be a marshal today. He wants to clean this Ferrari off track. I mean, that's a nice gesture, but he has his own race to run, or maybe not. I know he's not in the points, but I mean, he gave up on it pretty quickly. Thanks to Hakkinen's effort, that Ferrari is well off track by the time I approach turn 12 next lap. Thank you, Hakkinen. And on lap 56, I go into turn 1, ordinary stuff, but in my mirrors, Tyrrell just goes straight on, and the yellow flags confirm it. Ukyo Katayama is out of the race with a brake failure. Let's get a replay of that. He goes into turn 1, there's just no braking happening. Thankfully, that tire wall is there, and he nearly goes back on the apex. Dangerous stuff. And you can see on the next lap, yeah, his Tyrrell almost slid off right back on the track. But with Katayama gone, I was basically running on my own. Hakkinen was too fast, and that one-stop strategy did not work out for my teammate. But being honest, I was grateful. I needed that just moment of peace on the track, and we finished the Brazilian Grand Prix in 10th place. Those are not points like in Australia, but in my opinion, that was a good performance from my side. After the race, FIA has picked footwork of Bill Brahma, Ligier of Olivier Panis and Sauber of Heinz-Harald Frentzen for their post-race inspections. All 3 cars have been deemed legal by the FIA, so the final results stand. Damon Hill has won the race, with Jacques Villeneuve right behind him. Jean Alesi was 3rd, Gerhard Berger 4th, Johnny Herbert 5th and David Coulthard, who scored first point for McLaren this season, in 6th. Eddie Irvine 7th, Rubens Barrichello 8th, Mika Hakkinen 9th, Bill Brahma 10th and Ricardo Rosset in 11th. Mika Salo 12th, Luca Badoer 13th, Pedro Diniz 14th, Heinz-Harald Frentzen 15th, Giovanni Lavaggi 16th. Ukyo Katayama, Michael Schumacher, Martin Brundle, Pedro Lamy, Giancarlo Fisichella and Olivier Panis did not finish the race. Now let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship. Jean Alesi is still in the lead with Damon Hill jumping into 2nd. Gerhard Berger is 3rd, Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve both on 6 points, Johnny Herbert in 6th, Bill Brahma in 7th, Rubens Barrichello and David Coulthard have 1 point each in 8th and 9th. In Constructors' Championship, Ferrari leads the way with 20 points, Williams is right behind them with 16th, and Benetton has scored 12. Footwork in 4th is on 2 points, and Jordan and McLaren are both on 1 point each. And that's it when it comes to 1986 Brazilian Grand Prix. See you in Argentina!